Welcome to Small Town Big Life Podcast, coming at you from the tool shed behind Grace Fellowship Church in Avis. Today we have Dyneshia on again because Dyneshia is so awesome and a lot of fun. She's an intern here at the church. Jackie's flying the plane as always, and we're going to talk about music. Now, I know we've talked about music a lot, but today we're talking about like international and hip hop and rap and that kind of stuff. Dyneshia brought this topic up one time and said it might be kind of fun to talk about, so here we are. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are we doing?
Are you good? I like the hat. I like the way you have
Thanks. Yeah, well, it doesn't fit down over the bun, so this is kind of where it sits, but this is like the cool place to sit. You know, you got a little bit up top.
It looks like you could store something in there, like a pair of socks and a glove.
I probably could, honestly. Never thought about that, but doing it now.
Awesome. So, what made you think about this? Because I know we've talked about music and movies and all this stuff. Is this like what you listen to a lot of?
Yes, this is, I wouldn't say solely what I listen to, about like 80%. I listen to a lot of rap and hip-hop music, mostly R&B, all that stuff. But I saw everybody doing podcasts about when Laura was on, she talked about like K-pop and country and things like that. And I think even some of the podcasts talked about like Christian music. And I'm like, I don't listen to much K-pop, but I do listen to country. I have a pretty wide variety in which I llisten to, but most of it's hip-hop. And a lot of people actually listen to it, whether they want to admit it or not. And so I was like, I want to talk about like hip hop. I want to talk about rap, because from what I've heard, it gets a bad rap, no pun intended. But people talk about it, they're like, no, I don't listen to that stuff. It's like terrible and da da da. And I feel like rock music can, get that rap too. It's like, it's the devil stuff. And I'm like, no, you'd be surprised how many God-fearing Christians listen to secular rap music.
Mm-hmm. Right,
so
right.
I just wanted to bring some rap music to the table and talk about it a little bit. So here we are.
I've got, I'm pretty versatile musically. I listen to everything. I listen to Beethoven, classic, oldies, rock, everything, country, rap. I was young when rap started. Mm-hmm. I remember the whole birth of the movement, and I'm still confused to this day. I ask people, what is, in your definition, what's the difference between rap and hip hop? How would you distinguish the two apart? Or do you think they're the same thing, just different names?
I don't know. I feel like I've never been asked that question, and I feel like maybe I've questioned it before, whether it's the same thing. I feel like rap and hip hop get paired together, but then I look on my Spotify playlist and I see rap and I see hip hop, and the artists kind of intermingle between there. So right. I don't know exactly what's the distinct difference, whether hip hop is more music, like the beat behind it, and rap is more lyrically. I feel like if I were to do that, it might be, but it also could cross over as well. So,
or is it rap if it's a solo person, and it's hip hop if it's a groove?
But then you think about rap groups in the 90s, rap groups, hip hop groups. I don't know. It could be both. I don't know.
It started in the early 80s with the Sugar Hill Gang, rapping to Chic, Good Times, The Loop. And I remember getting the album because at the time, you couldn't get it, and it came in a sleeve. It was an album. It was like an orange peach colored sleeve, nothing on it, and in the center was cut out, and you could see the sticker on the record. It said Rapper's Delight, and there was two versions of it, two sides. And I was listening to Iron Maiden and AC/DC and stuff like. I never heard this. And a friend of mine gave it to me, and he said, "Hey man, you should listen to this." And so I'm like, "What is this?" And they said, "Well, this is new stuff. This is coming out of New York and stuff." And I said, "Okay." So I grew up listening to what my mom listened to, which was Elvis, Creedence, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, the Jackson 5 actually at that time. So this is how I grew up. So there wasn't anything like rap. And when I heard it and my friends heard it, at first we're like, "What is this?" And then, "Well, play that song again. Play that." So after a while, and then everybody's like, "Well, there is no other band like this. They're the only one." So you can't go out. Yeah. Now I know it was happening in other places, but those guys are the ones who took it to the masses because that spread like wildfire. People were making bootlegs. I don't even know if you know what I'm talking about, right? You know Rapper's Delight. Okay, because it's so, it's iconic now.
Yeah.
But
so my dad listened to, that's what I grew up listening to, all that stuff.
Yeah. So, and then hip hop, I don't know. Oh, man, I remember I was in a group home when I was a teenager. And so, because I was taken from the home as a bad kid, and 80% of the people in 3 rooms that we lived there were black. So I heard all the music they listened to, and at that time, that stuff rap stuff was people were making tapes. These are people that didn't get record deals and stuff. They were just making the songs.
Yep.
And a couple of the kids there went to New York on their vacation when they got vacation time to see their families, and they came back and they'd have new tapes.
Yeah.
And so we'd listen to them, and this is when like breakdancing and stuff started. We never thought this stuff would be in movies, on the radio, in schools, and so then of course, you know, people realize we can cash in on this.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
But so I saw this stuff when it was street stuff and it was cool, and it's like, you know, not to sound like an old person or anything, but it was like there was something cooler about it when it was raw.
Yep.
And when it was, and then, you know, I don't want to take up all the talk time, but yeah, I remember that. That's, for me, I was there at the beginning of all that. And not many, you know, different generations can say I was here when the rock and roll stuff started. Obviously, I can't say that, but
Yeah.
but I remember the rap stuff. So I've watched it evolve over the years. And when I see, there's some of it now that I just absolutely cannot stomach. I can't stand it because it's such a disgrace. And to be specific, I should explain myself. You take people like Sugar Hill Gang and you know, and Rappers Delight. Now that's the old stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of stuff afterwards. But what I can't stand now is the people who mumble. Hold up, man. You know,
Yeah,
what are you
no, I
doing,
know
man? You don't even.
exactly
You sound
what
like a
you're
drug
talking about.
addict. You don't even. I can't even understand what you're saying.
Are you
And
even speaking?
Yeah, and I'm not-
words.
and I know rock and roll people say you can't understand the lyrics, but it's different because these people sound like they're sedated. And I'm like, I just don't do that. And not all of them.
Yep.
Not all of them.
Yeah.
Just when I hear those, I'm like, dude, no, come on.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right, Jackie, why don't you chime in?
Yeah.
Well, I was just saying to her actually when you stepped out of the room for a second that I was thinking about who I grew up listening to compared to who she listened to growing up, and a lot of the people that I listened to are no more. They are not around anymore, or they're dead, or whatever. And she's
Like
probably
who? Like Grandmaster Flash and stuff.
well, Grandmaster
Yes.
Flash.
I know who that is. That is my dad.
Yeah.
When I tell you the music that started like growing up, whatever,
Yeah.
my dad is still in that era. That's
because-
all he listened to.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I don't blame him. I mean, that's, you know, I mean, we all listen to what we grew up with,
Yeah.
so I don't blame. What were you gonna say?
But like Public Enemy. See, look at the face.
I
If
need
Chuck
a
D
song.
wasn't such a racist, I
Yeah.
could listen to Public Enemy.
Public Enemy.
NWA.
Yeah, now I remember that.
I mean, I more
I
than
know every
likely
word
when
to
it
the
comes to like in that, I guess those songs, I don't necessarily even know the artist or the song name, but if I heard a song,
Yeah.
more than likely I have heard it.
Yeah.
But knowing like name and
okay,
stuff
so
like that, I don't know.
well, the stuff she just brought up is like, I mean, really well known. And I was upset one time, a couple years ago, like 2 years ago, my daughter got in the car, and we used to fight because about whose phone we can plug in to play. And I'm like, I'm
That's
driving,
awesome.
I'm gonna play. She goes, Dad, just let me play. And I go, give me that. And I took her phone and I start scrolling. I go, why do you have Straight Outta Compton? And she goes, I know every word. I go, no. Oh, why do you know this? And
Yeah.
she goes, you know the whole album. My mom told me. And I go, Straight Outta Compton. And
Yeah.
she was finishing the lyrics, and I go, no. I go, this isn't for you. I don't want you to listen to this. And she goes, I don't listen. I don't sing the bad words and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, right. I was a teenager. Don't
Yeah,
give me-
exactly.
So so I'm like, I don't know, man. So we, I don't listen to any of that stuff now. But when I look back when I was younger and crazy, my head's cockeyed and sideways, figuratively speaking, going through life.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like you were like into that kind of stuff. So what kind of stuff are you
So
into?
growing up, my dad, Sugar Hill Gang. My dad is a big Tupac fan. Everybody thinks my dad looks like Tupac. If my dad had a nose ring and wears a bandana.
Okay.
Mobb Deep, Biggie. That's like the older stuff that I remember growing up listening to. Not necessarily knowing any of the words, but my dad is one to have music playing all the time, anytime. Doesn't matter. Get in a shower, outside cooking. He'll put headphones in, music really loud, in the middle of the street, singing and dancing to these songs. My dad used to go roller skating in Philly, and he would put the headphones in, have whatever apparatus, Walkman probably.
Yeah.
And he would skate and listen to this music. And so that's what I grew up listening to. And then my mom actually is really into like 90s rap and R&B. So like Nelly, Ashanti, Missy Elliott, Fat Joe.
So it's more like the pop stuff.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah.
So like the old hip hop rap stuff I got from my dad, and then like the 90s pop groups like TLC, all of those people is what.
That's your mom?
That's my mom.
Okay, so she doesn't know. I don't drink brass monkey. Like to be funky. Nickname me your 8-ball junkie.
My dad, that's what my dad would listen to. He listens to all that stuff. I get the 90s pop, R&B stuff from my mom, and then I listen to pretty much.
Is this like your go-to stuff mostly?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
All the time.
So who's your, I mean, who like is your top like 3 that you like?
Top 3 would be Drake. I started listening to Drake in middle school. He will always be my tried and true. I also love Nicki Minaj. They were in YMCMB, which is like a whole thing that they were doing. I'd say those are like my top 2. Those are the 2 that I always listen to. I've never been disappointed by a song. I've never been disappointed by an album. But I mean, I listen to just a bunch of people. Like I like Russ, PNB Rock. Who else? Lil Uzi Vert, Gunna, Future, Coi Leray, DaBaby, Lil Baby.
See the look on his face right now. Is what I'm feeling.
Yeah. So like,
didn't DaBaby shoot someone in Walmart?
Yes, he did with his daughter there. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember. I was watching Dave Chappelle talk about it.
Yep. I watched it was some interview or something. I don't know if it was him because I don't know. He's probably spoken about it, but I heard that. Yeah.
So do you get when I was young, like mostly listening to metal, but at that age, you listen to anything that's new. That's why I know a lot about rap. And what and the culture I was in was really unique for a white kid. So, because of where I lived and all this stuff. But that's another story. So the thing is, and I remember with my faith as a Christian, people were like, "Oh, you shouldn't listen to that. You shouldn't listen to that. You shouldn't listen to that." And I would think to myself, there are some songs that are bad. They can influence you. You let filth in, and filth takes up residence. You lay down with dogs, you're going to wake up with fleas. And so I know that rap when people say that. If you shouldn't listen to that, but I always think to myself, like there's bands now that I still love, but there's certain songs that don't do it for me because of the lyrical content and stuff like that. So, what's your take? What do you? I mean, did people say that to you?
Yeah. I don't know if it's been necessarily like directly, but I've gotten the like what you put in, you put out, and it's more like you put garbage in, saying that rap music is garbage. You're gonna put garbage out. So it's kind of been like that sort of conversation.
Right.
And I mean, it's all about like balance. Like there are some songs that like give me like hype if I'm listening to it. Like me and my friends were all singing it and stuff. But I do notice that if I listen to rap music solely and like some like I would just say crazy stuff, but like it does affect my mood and like how I am and like how I feel. So my thing is like balance. Not only do I listen to rap music, I listen to a lot of folky stuff. I've gotten into bluegrass recently. I do like country. I like pop. I listen to Christian music. So it's not just solely rap music and not like the filthy stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'm just wondering how you defend it, because I know how I would defend it. I mean, how I did, how I still do. I mean, people say, well, you listen to that. Why? I mean, I was listening to something. My wife said, Drew, why are you listening to that? And I'm like, it wasn't a song with bad lyrics. It was just like really heavy. Yeah. And I'm like, it pumps me up. I mean, it's my workout song or something like that. I mean, it's not, but I don't know. I think it comes down to the lyrics and what the song does to you and how it gets you. And I don't know.
I mean, I don't know necessarily like defending it. I feel like I can agree with you on that point. But for me, like a lot of what music for me is I love to dance. I like to move. I hear music.
Guilty. No, I'm just kidding. I don't.
Oh, you don't have to lie, Drew. It's okay. But like growing up, my dad was always dancing, and like music, just physically, like I need to move and I need to dance. Taylor is not like that at all. He could listen to a crazy pump up song that he might like or I might like his favorite song, and he's just like, I like this song. And I'm like, how are you not losing your mind right now? Like, I'm moving, I'm jumping around, like acting crazy, screaming, singing along. And so for me, when I listen to something that like I want to move, like I want to dance, like this is fun, I want to listen to it. Now, granted, I'll start listening to a song for the music, the background element, because it's fun, I want to dance to it. And then I start hearing the lyrics and I'm like, what is going on? Example, growing up, I listened to a lot of like the 90s rap and hip hop, Laffy Taffy.
Oh.
And Candy Shop.
Yeah.
I'm probably 6 years old. I'm singing the lyrics to Candy Shop, which are extremely sexual and vulgar. I'm 6 years old. I don't know nothing about that. It wasn't until I was in high school that song came on at probably middle school dance, and I'm like, yo, I was like, I was singing this like 6 years old, and so part of it is like, sometimes I don't listen to the lyrics, which is true, and that might seem as like a whatever, you just don't listen to it. But really, I'm just having a good time listening to the music, dancing to it, enjoying it. And if the lyrics are too crazy, I'm like, okay, this, because it actually makes me uncomfortable. I'm like, the way they're talking about women, like the way they're talking about whatever they're doing, I'm just like, skip, next.
Well, question tying into that then. What about, you were talking about, off camera, you were talking about Latinx and Latino music. Mm-hmm. If you don't know what they're saying and you're just into the groove of it, is that okay? Or do you look it up to see what the lyrics are?
Part of me, so like I took Spanish in high school and college. I cannot speak fluent Spanish, but I love Spanish culture, right? Food, music, people, everything like that. So when I'm listening to that music, I'll kind of like pick up on some of the words. And actually last night I was listening to one of my favorite like Spanish songs, and I looked up some of the words that I knew. But honestly, when it comes to like Spanish music, if I don't know, it won't hurt me kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, unless I'm thinking like, I really want to know what this song is. What was that song that I forget what it was, but it had like Justin Bieber in it. It was really recent. It was like a pop song that had Spanish, and everybody was like looking up the lyrics, and because it was in Spanish, like the majority of culture did not know what that meant. And so, we looked it up and we're like, oh, this song is like kind of a little raunchy.
Yeah.
So
I can't remember what it was called.
I don't look up everything. When it comes to Spanish music, I just listen to it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
My youngest daughter's like listens to a lot of the Spanish music too, and I don't understand it, so I kind of make up words as we go. It's usually like stuff off the Taco Bell menu, and she's like, "Dad, that's not what they're saying," and I know that's not what they're saying. I'm just trying to get her to laugh, but because you're like, would be the age of my middle daughter if you were my daughter, because my one daughter's older than you, one daughter's younger than you. So I've heard a lot of the stuff you're saying, and the Spanish music, I don't understand it, but I do. It is good when I hear a lot of it. I'm like, it's got a cool flow to it.
Yes, exactly.
It flows nice. But I got to go back to something you said a second ago, because I'm totally with you on this. When you're talking about when you hear a song that makes you amped, how can you not just
right? How can you be like,
well,
no.
I did this. Remember, most of my life, wrote, recorded music, played in front of people, and when you get up there and the light before the lights come up and fog, and these machines come out and they fill the stuff, and you hear the first drum go when they're kicking in, and the intro tape rolls, and you're like, and the hair on your neck stands up, and when those lights go boom, and then the whole stage vibrates like a tank just hit it. It is an explosion. I mean, I'm getting wound up now talking about it, and so that's what music does for me. That's what it did for me. That's why I love doing it. That's why I did it with my life, with music. And so now when I hear stuff, I'm like. And when I was talking about my wife, my wife's a very calm person. She loves music, loves music. But she doesn't respond. To say like I get home, and when I come in the house, she goes, is your stereo so loud in your truck? I'm like, she goes, Drew, the neighbors can hear it. I go, no. She goes, your windows are up, and I can hear it standing in the kitchen. And I was like, I was listening. I don't know. It was "Scum of the Earth" by Rob Zombie or something. I was like driving. The stuff that makes you want to drive fast.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And I get that as a pastor too. You're like, well, you listen to this, well, you listen to that. And I'm thinking, well, you read the lyrics. Like I had to explain to somebody one time, "Creeping Death" by Metallica.
Okay.
You know what?
No, I don't. I know who Metallica is. I do not listen to rock music really.
Okay.
Sorry.
"Creeping Death" is a song about Pharaoh and Moses and setting the slaves free, and God sending the plagues to Egypt, and people hear the name "Creeping Death" and they hear Metallica and they assume
I would not listen to
it's a devil's music or something like that. And I'm like, no, you quit being so shallow until you listen to because it's not about sex and booze and drugs and all these things. Like Iron Maiden is all it's like history. Everything, all the songs are about like stuff that happened in history and all this stuff. It's really weird how people stereotype stuff. Like you talk about when we were talking about street level lyrics. Ice Cube, even though he was in NWA and there's a lot of hardcore stuff and and all that kind of stuff, Ice Cube himself is really intelligent. And I know from talking to people, other people, like when you get past language barriers, like when I did prison ministry, people stop every sentence and go, "Oh, no offense, I'm sorry," because they were when they were and I'm like, "Tell me what's on your heart. I can just quit stopping every two sentences and apologizing." And so he wrote lyrics that are social commentary that are really profound. Yeah. But you can't play on the radio.
Yeah.
And I think it's shallow when people just say, dismiss something without looking into it at all. I mean, like the Bible is the Old Testament is a very R-rated book.
Oh yeah,
but it's got some profound wisdom and lessons in it. I don't know. Now I'm getting all. I don't want to get all philosophical about it, but I don't automatically look at any type of music and just say that's trash, because that's what sparked me a second ago. You said some people say that.
Yeah,
they're like, oh, that's just trash, and I'm like, you can't be dismissive of anything in life like that. Just as a broad stroke for one whole type of thing. Yep. So I'm sorry, I'm getting all. Yeah, music is now. I can't. If this was K-pop, I didn't do that podcast because I told Jackie, I said I literally know nothing.
Yeah. I don't know anything.
I don't know anything about it. I said it's not that I'm being mean or snooty and saying I'm not going to be in the. I don't have anything to contribute. I can't say so.
No, I got you.
Yeah. So or you look like you were going to say something.
No, I was just going to say, going back to the thing about the songs that get you pumped up and I think that's why so many people. If I had to ask you like your top 3 karaoke jams that you would throw down right now,
karaoke jam. We could do a karaoke podcast. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, like if there was like $1,000 prize and you had to throw down your 3 absolute best, I bet you either 1 or 2 of them would be rap.
Oh, yeah. Sunday Candy by Chance the Rapper. Done deal.
Yeah.
One of my favorite songs.
I don't even know that.
Fun.
I don't know that song.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Now we need a karaoke podcast.
Humpty Dance.
Oh.
Hey, I did it.
Anytime.
Man, I forget his name.
Who? Digital Underground?
Yeah, no, but the guy.
I can't help with that.
I just watched the biography on him the other day.
Yeah,
he was talking about Tupac.
I can't think of his name.
And it was wow.
Yeah, the guy with the thing.
It was funny because he was talking nice, but the stuff he was saying was not real flattering. I mean, but you could tell he's like, I want this to sound nice because I don't want someone to kill me. but it wasn't nice. So anyway.
Okay, speaking of Tupac or Biggie?
Tupac.
Neither. I don't like either of them.
If you had to pick one.
Yeah. If I had to pick one, it would probably be. See, it's weird because Tupac, in my opinion, is a racist, and that turns me off right away. I mean, I can't get past that.
Okay.
And I can't get past Chuck D because I hate this race card stuff because the way I grew up and where I grew up, and when somebody throws that down or tries that on me, that don't fly with me. It's not gonna, and I'm not gonna let it pass either. And when somebody says, oh, you're racist because I'm like, you don't know anything about me, and it happens all the time. And so I think when I see people like that, it's hard to get past. That's why I have issues with Chuck D. And I see Chuck D in interviews, I'm like, I ain't forgot about those songs, man. And I haven't forgot about your prison tours and the stuff you were teaching, So it's hard to get past that. So I'd have to say Biggie.
I'm with you on Biggie.
Yeah.
I'm with you on Biggie.
But I don't think either of them are like, lame or anything. It's just there are certain ones, people you listen to, like that clicks with you, and other ones that don't.
Yeah.
So for me, they didn't really. Yeah, I didn't click with either of those two guys.
See, I grew up listening to both though, because my dad is a big Tupac fan, and a lot of Biggie stuff now is like remixed. I mean, he didn't get to put out a whole bunch of music.
Yeah,
right.
He died, but yeah, I just found that I like Biggie more. I actually watched there was a series on Netflix or like a movie, some sort of documentary about them both, and it had like both of them, and it talked about like their feud and stuff, and even seeing like both of it, and it wasn't just like one-sided, like, oh, this is like a Biggie, documentary or a Tupac. It was both of them, and I was like, yeah, I kind of feel like I would I vibe with Biggie just a little bit more than Tupac. I mean, their vibes are different though. Like it's West Coast and East Coast. So
yeah. I'm trying to think. There was just a major motion picture done, and somebody big starred in it on that story, and it got shelved. And I don't know why it got shelved.
I know I saw the Tupac movie. I think it was called All Eyes on Me.
Yeah, not that.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know if it was that one though.
No, but
it was something different.
that gave me a different perspective on like his music and where he came from and his mother and different things like that. The lyrics actually,
The Black Panther stuff.
Yeah, that started to all start to make sense to me. But for me, anything Dr. Dre touches turns to gold. And Dr. Dre with Tupac, Dr. Dre with Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre with Eminem, all of it.
Yeah, but I mean, Dr. Dre or any of those guys wouldn't have made it anywhere if it wasn't for Ice Cube.
That's right.
Because he's the only one that could write.
That's right.
And they hung on his coattails, and then Dre got around other people and started. I remember when Dre's album came out, The Chronic, and I heard it, and I thought, dude, give it up. You cannot flow. He doesn't flow. Ice Cube flows. Dre doesn't flow, but people bought it. They're like, it's Dre, so we'll buy it. And this is me. This is my perception. I'm not putting a label on Dre because actually I like him. I like him as a person, and so I'm not down on him. I'm just saying when you look at the skill sets of him versus Ice Cube.
We're lacking a little bit.
It's kind of they're not really equals, but good on him for making a career.
I mean, as a producer, he's good.
Yeah,
he's a good producer. He's excellent. Yeah, because he was finding some of the up and coming people, and he's smart. He didn't over welcome his stay in rap. He did a couple good albums, decent albums, and then stuck to producing. In fact, when they were in their war between NWA and Ice Cube, Ice Cube has a song. I can't say the title of it, but it was basically a message to NWA. And one of the lines in the song is, "Yo, Dre, stick to producing." It goes, so anyway, I could talk about this stuff forever. It's probably boring. You guys are like.
Did you watch the movie though, Straight Outta Compton?
I did.
I didn't.
I thought it was really well done.
I didn't watch it.
And Ice Cube's son played
Ice Cube.
Oh, that's dope.
He looks just like him.
But he had to fight for it. And I've been watching interviews with Ice Cube and just talking about, having to admit to certain things that he did at that age to his son before his son.
Well, it's in the song. It's in his songs. I mean, yeah. And that's another thing. You talk about East Coast, West Coast, Biggie Smalls, Tupac. The stuff that the music breeds in young people, like rock and roll. Like people say, rap gets a bad rap because of the violence and all stuff. Well, when rock and roll came out, it was the first thing of its kind for young people, and society as a whole. Gangs didn't have guns then. They had knives and chains and stuff like that. And now you have young people, and then this genre of music comes out. I don't think it's the music itself. I think it's humanity itself that is progressing in a bad direction. And you get, I always thought it was sad that these guys would fight and kill and shoot each other, all that stuff. I mean, it just breaks my heart because I think you could put all that energy into music instead of anger.
And one of the things I was thinking about was how, reggae and that sort of stuff is so politically charged.
But it's the opposite vibe. Like Bob Marley was all about love and peace.
Yeah.
He thought music could bring love to the world and solve problems. And he's right if everyone got on board.
Yeah.
So, but then was that the catalyst for rap, though? That needing a voice, needing somewhere to put all this political...
Well, rap started out like a lot of other things. Rap started out as happy and fun, and it started out as guys that had fat mad skills, making party music and doing this thing where they would craft loops and rap over it, and it was all about having fun and going to a party and rocking a party and all that stuff. And then you get that same type of music, but you get kids who are living in difficult circumstances, and they're like, well, I'm going to sing about what my life is like. And so, and it's not pleasant. And in the 80s, there was a lot of turmoil. So, by the time it's all art is a mirror of what's going on in a society. So you get, like you were talking about the different types of, your mom's more kind of pop party
R&B,
music oriented. Yeah. And then you get folks that can identify with the other stuff, the angst, the anger,
Yeah.
it's a reflection of society. Same thing with any music type, I think. Anyway.
And it's very interesting now to see. Now, I don't listen to every new and up and coming rap artist because some of them are just dumb. Like, they're rapping about the same thing. And so that's frustrating. And so you talked about, music started out as happy party music, and then other kids wanted to get on it, talking about what they're going through. And that stuff is like hard, like gangbang stuff, violence and things like that. And a lot of like rappers and stuff now, I want to say a lot, but some of the new and upcoming kids are like talking about like gangbanging and murdering people and everything, and they live in the suburbs. And I'm just like, I don't like. You're just trying to do it because somebody else caught a whole wave off of it, and you think you're going to do it as well when there's no credibility behind what you are saying.
I used to make a joke about that. I did a stand-up thing on stage about these white kids in the suburbs.
Yes,
listening
I don't want to say white kids. I just say kids.
Well, it's true. Listening to like NWA.
Yeah.
Straight out of Compton. You know the opening lines to that song?
I don't know the opening.
I said, so it's funny.
But I know.
I go, it's funny when you hear, I go, because these kids are lying. What do they have to sing about? Because back home, there's a ritzy area in Columbus called Dublin. And I go, if they were honest, they would be like, straight out of Dublin.
Yeah.
A crazy little cracker named Frank. I got a job. I work at the bank. And I go, that's how their rap should be because that's their life. Yeah. And I go, but they're trying to be all hard. And also, it's stupid. And I said, I don't know. I don't know. I look at any type of music and like rock and roll, whatever the genre is, and I pick out stuff and I go, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. And with rap, same thing. So it's like you said, some of it, the rapping is insultingly stupid, and it's like kindergarten level. I mean, you shouldn't get a record if you can go, I will not eat them, Sam I am, I will not, could not with a fox, I could not, would not in a box, yo. And I mean, it's like, what, come on, dude. And then the stuff with you, and
it's so funny because,
and you're like, what? And that kind of stuff, I can't deal, man. I look for the good stuff.
Yeah.
And I did, that was part of my job too. And when I worked for DeClark's and, finding stuff that would sell. So I get there's plenty of stuff about different rap I don't like. Now there's a difference between what I think is good versus what I listen to. Like what I said a second ago, like Biggie and Tupac and all. I don't listen to that just to do anything for me. But they're good at what they do.
Yeah.
They're good. But there's plenty of people that are like you said. They're just terrible.
Yeah.
And you wonder why people buy it. And I call it the because music now is, I don't care what kind it is, music now is drag and drop. That's what I call it, drag and drop music. Because you go back to rap, and these guys that used loops, used records, that still took work.
Yeah.
Because you had to go in and get the record and record it. You had to loop. Then you had to loop the loop.
Yep.
And so you'd have one continuous loop, and then you had to write the lyrics. And so there was work involved.
Yeah.
And bands had to play instruments, rock bands. You got to learn your parts. Now you can sit at a computer screen and take samples and drop them, and singers and everything. You just drag it. You drop it into the loops, or you drop it into your tracks, and I do it all the time because I do voiceovers for commercials, and and now when I hear music, I'm like, somebody did this sitting at their computer. There's something I can tell it's missing. There's a human element that's not there.
There's an authenticity that's missing.
Well, yeah, the human feel is not there, and it's like, and now there's a lot of songs people listen to that moves them, and they're like. Good for you, man. But to me, it sounds very synthetic.
No, I completely agree. I completely agree.
Now you're growing up with this stuff around you, so you're probably like cool with it.
I mean, I feel like for me, like listening to like what my dad listened to growing up and what my mom listened to, and the stuff that I listen to now is obviously different, and it does have a different feel. As far as like me saying about authenticity, I don't think I'm into and listen to enough of like old school rap, or like am super into it to be like, yeah, this is definitely. I just think it's just different. Like Drake is obviously going to be different than Biggie because they're, you know, two different eras. They're rapping about two different things, two different life experiences, and so I mean, I appreciate the difference, but I don't know. I don't know if I can fully speak on there being something missing. You know what I mean? Because I just grew up with a little bit, you know, overhearing my dad blasting his Sugar Hill Gang and all of that stuff, Mobb Deep, and then me wanting to listen to what's on the radio and what's on MTV and VH1 in the morning and all like the top 10 songs before I went to school. And that's the stuff that I really clung to. And it wasn't until I was older, you know, high school and like college, when I found other people who listened to the same stuff that my dad listened to. Because Jersey Shore High School, I was like one of 3 or 4 black people who actually had black parents that listened to that kind of music. Not everybody who's listened to the same mainstream rap stuff. But when I went to college, I found other people that were like, oh yeah, like my parents listen to that. You know, I listen to this.
Exactly.
And then I found somebody that was like, oh, they know who Sugar Hill Gang is. Because I would say that, you know, in high school or something, they look at me like, what is that? Like, I don't know what that is. Right. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just different, but that's my take.
Yeah, that's exactly like it was for me, because I grew up in Adams County, Pennsylvania, in Big Riverville, and you either listened to country or you listened to grunge. There was no rap. And then I went to college and somebody's blasting Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
what is this?
Yeah, you know? it's I think now, probably since the 90s, I think in the mid 90s, people in general as a whole started to become more versatile musically. Like, it's rare to meet somebody now that just listens to one type of music. I mean, it's not only that only listens to one type of music, but listens to one type of music a lot. Like when I think it's funny, a lot of plowboys I know that harvest or work on farms and stuff like that, they're listening to Rob Zombie and Metallica and this kind of stuff when they're harvesting, right? And then guys that are in the city in suits and ties and working in accounting are listening to Hank Williams Jr. and stuff. Like, they don't live out in the country, because that's what they want. And the guys who are in the country have it. I was mostly young dudes. Anyway, I only said all that to bring it home that I think music is like crayons. You know, you got every color, and you want to use every crayon. Yeah, because every one helps you get out a different emotion. Yeah. I think it's way more common now for people to listen to different types of music. I found out. I think I told you this. I might have said this on another podcast. I found out one day on my app for the Alexa thing, and it records your voice when you talk to it. I didn't know that. And you can listen back to everything that you've said to it.
That's funny.
And the things that I said the most to my Alexa were, Alexa, play Beethoven, and Alexa, play Little Richard. Those are the two things that I said the most. How
random can you get?
Well, those are two of my favorite things to listen to. I mean, Little Richard, I can belt that out at the top of my lungs. There's nobody whose soul hangs out of their mouth more than Little Richard. His guts come up out of his throat, and they shoot out.
Onto everybody who listens
to it.
And
who listens.
Nobody's even mad.
There's hardly anyone who can let their soul shoot out of their skull with the energy that Little Richard did. And then Beethoven is because it's a massage for my soul.
Well, yeah.
It's just I love it.
Yeah,
but listen to everything.
Yeah.
So anyway, I went off on a rabbit hole. Sorry.
No, that's okay. So I know one of the questions was talking about like rap in mainstream, like TV and commercials, and the commercial that you put on there. I have no idea what commercial you're talking about.
Yeah, it really bothered me. There's a Maytag commercial. I'm not saying anything bad about Maytag. It just struck me as really, really, really odd, and it's a washer and dryer that are on top of each other. I don't know what that's called.
I know the commercial you're talking about, stack unit.
It's
called a stack unit.
And they're using ODB, Old Dirty.
Well, yeah, I know. What song, though? I mean, because I know the commercial, but I don't know the song.
Baby, come get your money. Hey, Dirty, baby, I got your money.
Yeah.
But it's Baby, I got your laundry.
Yep.
And I'm watching her going, hey, Dirty, Baby, I got your laundry.
Yeah. That's it. I didn't know that's who did the song.
Yeah, ODB.
I had no idea. I thought they wrote it for the commercial.
No.
Because I don't listen to ODB's from. It wasn't Onyx. It was Wu-Tang. Right?
From Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang.
So this song that I remember from college as being it is dirty. And these housewives are rocking out, folding their clothes. Baby, I got your laundry. Babe, dirty. I just thought it was
I know,
so
there's a lot of
very
that.
strange.
I'll never forget when I saw that question on there. It was when I want to say like first because I don't know my like superhero, but the one Spider-Man movie, the animated one with the black kid.
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember when that was coming out. Is it Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes.
Is that what it's called?
that was a groundbreaking
That was cool.
piece of animation for a lot of reasons. But that's
And I remember because who did that?
Miles Morales was his name.
Childish Gambino.
Yes.
Which is Donald Glover, who
Yes.
I listened to, did most of the soundtrack for that. And not only was it a black Spider-Man, which I was like, this is the best thing ever, but it had like rap music in the background from a person that I listened to. And I love Childish Gambino. I love his stuff, like, Community, along with like all of those other things. But I was like, wow, like this is insane because you see movies and you don't hear rap music in movies unless it's like your classic 90s movie and it's mostly like black characters and it's based in the 90s around rap, things like that. But like a superhero movie having like rap music in the background, it was just like, whoa, like that's crazy. And the new Grinch. Tyler, the Creator, who I listened to in middle school and high school, he has some like crazy, I'm talking like dark and like grotesque kind of like rap music, and it's just very like vulgar. And he's one that I try not to listen to as much, but he's part of like Odd Future and all those guys. But he did the soundtrack for the Grinch movie, and I thought that was very interesting. Like two kids movies are now having two like rappers who are doing music for it. Granted, obviously it's a kids movie, so it's nothing crazy. But what, like Sunflower? You're my sunflower. That one was in the Spider-Verse, and then Tyler the Creator did a remix of like the Grinch song.
Down.
Yeah, so I thought that was very interesting, seeing, especially in kids' movies, which is what I tend to watch, that there's like rap artists who are doing the soundtracks and are doing different things for that. So those are the really only two that I could think of. I mean, I know, like different like phone commercials, like Verizon and like T-Mobile and stuff. They'll have like a rap music in the background.
Rap dominates all commercials.
All the commercials, yeah.
Everything now. I mean, you can't. I think it's the most prevalent genre used in advertising.
Because they're trying to appeal to our generation. And we know these songs. We know them by heart. They're part of... And I think some of the stuff that sticks out to me the most about rap music is like the hooks and the certain things that just become part of the lexicon. Like I wrote down hotel, motel,
Holiday Inn.
If your girl start acting up, then you take her
I can't fit them all
friend.
inside my OJ, so I just take half of them. Yep.
Exactly. And, like stuff with Busta
I still know
and
every word to that
Flip-Mo.
song. I still know all of Rapper's Delight.
That's crazy.
The short version and the long version. I know. I'm not going to.
I just know the part
bore the
about mac
listeners.
and cheese.
But it's,
I think that would be very
I just know the part about the mac and cheese.
Oh, have you ever went over to a friend's house?
Shouts out the mac,
The macaroni
Anyway.
sorry, the peas almost, and the chicken tastes like wood. Yep. He's sitting all right, and it's something that looks like she say, that's clear. I got to.
You got to go get a bottle of KO Pectate.
Just sitting here making myself nauseous with this ugly food that stinks. Yeah, I know the
Yeah.
whole song. Yeah, I know the whole song.
Yeah. But hooks and things like that stick with you forever, like Busta Rhymes.
His music with like Chris Brown and all that.
Like I don't even know if he's around. I'm sorry, I don't know if he's around
Busta
anymore.
Rhymes?
Yeah,
Who?
Busta.
Oh yeah.
Wait.
But if you yelled Flip-Mo in a club or whatever,
I wonder how many people are going to listen to the first 5 minutes and be like, turn that off.
What are you listening to?
Flip-Mo.
I know.
I don't know.
Flip-Mo.
No. Flip-Mo?
I don't know who that is
Busta's
either.
nickname was Flip-Mo.
Whose nickname?
Busta.
Oh, I think you're talking about a song. See, I don't listen to Busta that much.
I don't know.
I don't know if Busta's still around anymore, but and
For some reason, I feel like he died, but I'm sorry if you didn't die and you're watching this podcast.
Or like the beginning.
I'm sorry. I wish you well if you're alive, but if you died, I'm sorry.
Like the beginning.
My wife does that a lot. She goes, I thought he was dead. We'll be talking about somebody. I'll be like,
Yeah.
no, he's not dead. And
I was like, oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, she does. She goes, oh, wow.
You're just
Yeah.
irrelevant.
Yeah.
Or like the first couple of notes of Nothing But a G Thing.
Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. Snoop Dogg upside your head. Snoop Dogg is funny. Man.
I love Snoop.
He's a funny guy. And
Did you see his 2021 special with Kevin Hart?
No.
Oh, it's actually... I was kind of upset. I thought it was going to be funnier than what it was, but it was Snoop Dogg and Kevin Hart. I was a little disappointed.
Yeah,
the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, I did. I'm trying to think if I even heard about it.
I've been watching his Kevin Hart's little talk show that he does on Peacock.
Yes, on Peacock. Yeah.
And he interviewed Ice Cube. It's actually really good. And it's profound at times.
Did you get to? I sent you a rap videos, Christian rap.
Oh,
Yeah.
And neither of you responded because both of you, when I said Christian rap, you're like, "What's that?" You know, and I'm thinking because a lot of artists, filmmakers, rappers, all kinds of musicians, they try to do stuff Christian-y, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
Because it comes off like bumper sticker stuff like that, and you know, and that's a problem. I don't like corny stuff either. And I think if you're a Christian and you're going to do something, you got to set the bar high. It needs to be done right.
That's the thing.
And we used to talk about it being in music. A friend of mine, Rick May, he played for DC Talk. Now he's a sound guy on the road, and he has a studio. He recorded our third album. We talk about this stuff all the time. Mm-hmm. And I said to him one time, I go, why don't you just do Christian music, but you don't have to tell everyone you're a Christian band? I go, why? If just let your faith come through in your music, and if people pick up on it, be sneaky good. And I go, when I write songs and they're about Jesus, I don't get on a soapbox and go, look at me, I'm a Christian. I let them figure it out for themselves. By the time they like the song, if it gets in them, then maybe it'll have some impact on them.
So like,
but my point is, there is good stuff out there. Mm-hmm. There's good Christian of all types of music.
Oh, yeah.
It's ironically some of the ones that wave the Jesus flag to get the attention of, in all genres of music, are not the best ones. They're the ones that maybe you don't see it coming, and then you find out about their faith, and you're like, oh. And then you listen to their music, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
He's talking about Jesus. And then there's a ton of good stuff like that out there. Because you guys were both like, no. What Christian rap? What are you talking about?
I don't listen to it. I don't know if Julie Banks still does, but for a while there, when I'm pretty sure I was still in youth group before I was a leader for youth group, but there was this one Christian rapper that she would play his music all the time, and it was like good. Like the beat was good, the lyrics were good. It wasn't corny.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where my issue with Christian rap comes in, because a lot of it is like bumper sticker, and I'm just like, I like music, I like the beat, and if the beat is great and your lyrics are just trash, like, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna listen to it.
It's hard.
It's just not. I love that, you're a Christian rapper, you're trying to put Jesus in music, but like, just do it a little bit better, because
and I have to, since he's not here to defend himself, I have to say what Rick said to me when I brought that up to him. He said, his response, these aren't his exact words, but he basically said, I'm not going to do that. He goes, I want to stay away from a certain crowd. I want to stay away from certain businesses, practices. I want to be a Christian. I want my faith to be in my music with me, and I want people to know, so people don't come at me thinking I'm something I'm not. So basically he's saying he wants to keep it real with his faith. So I totally respect that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I wasn't really talking about him. Mm-hmm. We were talking about other, and I'm only saying that to defend, because he's an awesome guy and he's an awesome musician. Yeah. But I was talking about Christian bands, because I've had people ask us before, my last band, if we're a Christian band. And I said, we're Christians. I mean, we don't go
in a band.
I don't put a Jesus sticker up in the corner of the album or something and go. I'm not trying to capitalize on that. You should know that I'm a Christian when you talk to me, when you listen to what I say, and that should reflect. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going back down the same.
Yeah.
But
do you guys listen to like Latino music? I listen to like Caribbean music, like soca, dancehall. What do you know about that stuff?
The only one I know is Toyota's hot, hot, hot. Is that Latino music?
I don't
No, that's a
even
commercial.
know what you're talking
No.
about.
It's a commercial.
So I'm going to say
It's a
no.
Toyota commercial. Toyota's hot came from man. I got zero laughter here. No, I don't. Well, all the stuff I heard. No, I'm trying to think. I know. It just popped into my head. Why I keep
Wow. Wow.
the Macarena, and I know that's.
The Macarena.
Wow, what year
No,
was
that's
that?
not. That doesn't qualify. I know that's not what she's talking about.
No, that
The
is.
first time I heard that, I'm like, why do people like this? And I'm watching people dance, and I go, I don't get it.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
That's exactly right.
What do you mean? It's.
No, I don't.
See, I've been dancing.
I don't
like
get line
dancing.
dancing. Period.
Really?
No.
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 That was my whole middle school. Now I'm not like out country line
Well,
dancers.
you
Like,
get
you're not gonna see me
when
with
you're a
hat and
kid,
boots
you get a
on.
pass. You know what I mean? But when
I
you're,
still line dance now. You put the what is it? The
electric slide.
electric slide.
oh, you put the electric slide on at Walmart, you're getting people are going to all gather up
Everybody's
front.
flooding the
Yep.
aisles.
You throw a banjo up in the air, whoever catches it'll know how to play it. So
That's great.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I remember on when we had cable growing up. Music was a huge thing in our family. We would go through the music channels. It was Music Choice, right? And it was in like the 400s.
Yeah, yeah.
And anytime, especially in the summer when it was warm, my sister and I mean, we're like young, like elementary, middle school, and we would flip through the channels and we go through everyone. Now, there's a whole bunch of genres on there. These are like your rap, your hip hop, your 90s, your oldies, Latin music, all of that stuff, reggae, and even like bluegrass and stuff. And I remember we would go through channel at a time and we would listen and see what song was on there. We would dance to it and have fun with that. And I remember like I was obsessed with reggae music. Like I would want to go to that channel because the music was so fun. It was like dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
And it was just like a lot of fun. I
Oh,
like
it is.
listening to it.
It is fun.
Yeah.
Bluegrass.
It's
which I'm
happy.
into now. Yeah, it's happy. It's fun. I want to move. I want to dance. I want to be happy. Bluegrass even. There's this one song. It's called Eliza. You would never think looking at me that I would listen to like bluegrass music. And I wanted to get into it last year, and so I started looking it up. Love
Have you seen
bluegrass.
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Is it a movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a no. I don't.
You need to see that movie.
I have like 12 movies that I need to
Yeah.
see. I'm still trying to watch Star Wars. There's a bunch of stuff.
All right, go ahead. Back to what you're saying.
Yeah, listening to all the music. And then even the Spanish stuff would come on. And no hate to my mom. Mom, I love you. But she'd be like, turn that off. I don't know what they're saying. Whatever. And I'm like, but mom, like, do you not hear it and like feel something?
It's the
when
same
you listen?
conversation I have with my daughter too.
Exactly. I'm like,
Exactly.
do you not feel that inside of you? She's like, no, I don't understand what they're saying. I was like, you don't have to understand.
I make up stuff.
Exactly. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know what they're saying.
yeah.
I mean, it could be terrible.
I just make up
but
stuff.
Whatever. I said, but it's fun. It's
It
like
flows. It's got a
yeah,
good flow.
exactly. And so,
But I'm with your mom. I mean, I got to be able to sing with a song if it's got lyrics. I mean, when my daughter's playing that stuff, I'm like, this is cool for about 10 minutes. And then I'm like, okay, I need something I can sing with now.
yeah, I get that.
So-
and I get like that too. I listen to like a couple like Spanish songs. I mean, there's a couple that I go to. There's Me Siento Bien. There's also Desconocidos, Pa Mi, and 6 a.m. And I started listening to that in college because I got really close with some of the, I guess you call them foreign exchange students. And so I'd say, what, like, I want to know what music you listen to. Like, give me your playlist and stuff. And I had two really good friends from Trinidad and Tobago, and they got me into the dance hall, the soca, all of that stuff. And I love it. It's dance, like it's fun. It's like upbeat and everything like that. My favorite artist from Trinidad is Kez. He has this one song called Hello, and it's a lot of fun. It's like doom da doom 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 da doom 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 doom.
K-E-Z?
K-E-S.
K-E-S.
He's like the Chris Brown of Trinidad, except without like beating women up
Without
and
beating
stuff.
people up, yeah.
So-
Remember Informer?
Inform.
I think you know that song?
Yes, I do know that song. I didn't know what it was called.
I'm like, what? Is that a language or is it like?
Yeah, so you just make it up.
Yeah,
You-
it doesn't
no,
matter.
it's
Just
like-
like
Boom, boom,
Kanye,
down.
just like you were talking about earlier with the people who are just rapping like Dr.
Yep,
Seuss
but they
lyrics.
sound this. Yeah.
The thing is, Kanye West came out with a song, and he literally was like poopity doop, scoopity doop, and he's like just talking a mess on this beat. Well, it was all because he was supposed to give Drake the beat, but then him and Drake got into a beef, and so he took the song, he took like the track to it, and then just rapped something stupid over it, and people ate it up. They were like, this is like poopity scoop doop, and I'm like, he's not even saying anything.
Right.
And I'm like, why is this like, why is everybody
Yeah,
listening
but
to this?
that's,
Why
you
is
know
it a
what?
thing?
Simple songs. Don't worry. Be happy. I mean, you listen to that.
But at least that's a positive message, not poopity scoop, diddy dot boop. What?
Well, there's a bunch of there's Woohoo! You probably don't know that song.
Yeah.
What's that song? A Hash Pipe? No.
No, that's Weezer, Hash Pipe. You're thinking of
I got
my head
hash pipe.
No, I got my head checked by a jumbo jet.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
And then there's check it out now. Funk Soul Brother, right about now. Funk Soul
she's
Brother.
looking at us like
huge hit. That's all.
blank.
The whole song just says that.
Just
That's
that?
all the lyrics.
Like, do you know who Moby is?
The Whale.
No, Moby.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was for a second in my
that's
mind.
a no.
No, I don't know who Moby is.
Okay, he was like a skinny white dude, bald, and he did a lot of like trance kind of music, but then all of it became commercial.
No.
Hippie stuff.
And not
hippie stuff?
Well, I mean, I call it that.
Stuff.
He did a song
I
with
call
Gwen
it that.
Stefani, but every single commercial in like the early 2000s, he was in it.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
Eminem had some choice words for him.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Did you see Eminem? Did you see, first of all, since we're talking about rap music, the Super Bowl lineup this year for the halftime show?
No, I did not.
It is like Eminem, Missy Elliott, Snoop Dogg. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of people. I am so excited because
it's in Atlanta.
Yes. And because the past halftime shows have been garbage, trash, tomato, really bad. But now they got, I'm really excited for Missy Elliott. I love Missy
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
So Eminem, I'm like, okay, I kind of listen to his stuff. Snoop Dogg, he's pretty cool. But Missy Elliott, that's my girl.
The energy is going to be amazing.
Yes. I'm so excited.
People are saying some really ridiculous stuff online about how
Really?
they're not going to watch the Super Bowl at all because of who is performing.
That's whatever. I'm just going to say that's stupid and leave it at that. I'm excited.
Yeah, one of the best videos I've ever seen is Michelle Obama doing carpool karaoke with
James Corden?
James Corden with
James
Missy
Corden.
Elliott in the back seat.
I didn't see that
and
one.
they did Get Your Freak On. And Michelle Obama, I love her, is just in her element, just get your freak on, yeah, get your freak on, just rocking out, holla, hands out the window,
Yes.
just being herself and
my
doing
gosh.
exactly what we do in the car.
Yeah. Did you watch the Adele one?
Yes. I love her. She's my girl.
Adele.
I love you, Adele.
Do you like Adele?
I do.
She's amazing.
She is. She's very, very talented.
Now,
Yeah.
somebody that I like that I don't know if you know, I don't know if this person's around anymore either, but would probably be surprising is Shawn Paul.
Shawn Paul?
Yeah.
So don't give me the line. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, yeah.
But
Shawn
I like
Paul.
him. Mm-hmm. I like the rhythm is really good. You can really
Yeah.
get into it.
I listened to a bunch of Shawn Paul in middle school, actually.
Yeah,
That- he
probably
was-
would have been college.
Yeah. He was.
When I was in college and you were
Yeah,
in elementary
middle
school or something,
Yeah. I have a couple of Shawn Paul songs that they're like my pump up songs. Like
Yeah.
if me and my friends are hanging out in the car, we're like going somewhere, or I'm just like, I had a really bad day. Like I just need a pump up song. That's on rotation. Some Shawn Paul stuff.
Some
It's
Shawn Paul and
super
some
upbeat.
Pitbull.
Pitbull.
Yeah.
I don't know. He just looks kind of weird. It's the baldness for me.
No, see, I'm one of
And
those.
the aviator sunglasses. I can't. He looks like a mall cop.
See, I'm one of those chicks that if I hear some Pitbull at a wedding, I'm getting on the dance floor.
I mean, I wouldn't
But
mind.
that's about it.
But I don't. I might have one Pitbull song on my Spotify playlist.
But the thing is, when I've had the opportunity to go down to Jamaica, not in several years, but we renewed our vows in Jamaica, and they're listening to Shawn Paul, they're listening to Pitbull, they're listening to Bob Marley, and you just feel it.
It's a different, and I
Yeah.
feel like even being in Jamaica too, like it's a whole different vibe, and it's a
Yeah.
whole, and that's why like when it came to like the dance hall and the soca and all that stuff, and I would listen to it with all of my friends, especially my friends from like Trinidad Tobago, and they have like dance moves to it, and we're like dancing, and it's just a fun time. Like it's just, I don't know, it's just a whole different vibe than listening to like rap music. 'Cause
It's
I
a
feel like
whole
rap music, you put your
experience.
guns up and you're like, and you just kind of sound crazy sometimes.
bounce.
Yeah, and you bounce, and you're like.
Island boy.
No! Don't even get me started. Do not even get me started on them. They are so annoying. I remember seeing them popping up on my For You page on TikTok, and then I also saw them getting kicked off a podcast because they got.
Oh, they're all over the place now.
They're ridiculous.
Everyone's talking about them.
I cannot.
I know. I can't either.
We're done. That was
What's
your
funny is the
plug.
people who parody them.
I don't know
Yes,
who you're
that's
talking
funny.
about.
It's these two twin brothers on like TikTok. I'm pretty sure that's where they got their fame. They were on TikTok and it's called Wicks. A lot of people do it in Florida. It's a hairstyle. It's like dreads, but they stick up.
Yeah.
Right. So whatever, you wear your hair however you want. Wicks and fine. But
They're just like rapping
dumb.
this stupid stuff in the pool. Island boy. I'm an island boy.
Island boy.
And they got it went viral and
they're big now.
Well,
Okay.
everyone knows who they are, but a lot of it's like disco.
Yeah.
There's people that are venomously against them because and then there's other people who are like, I mean, I look at people like that. I was like, it's weird because I'm like, not about that at all, but I also don't feel like I want to spend a bunch of energy hating on people.
Exactly.
Like I'm not going to I don't feel like I'm going to exert the energy to say something negative.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm a pastor. I'm about unifying people, not pushing them off of cliffs. And so I'm against, if you don't like it, and I don't like it, but I don't. But I mean, that doesn't mean I'm going to throw rocks at them. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just
I just will not consume your content.
Yeah. It's just not my thing. I'm, whatever, man. But I don't get these people. There's a lot of that with music.
Well,
People have a lot to say. People love to voice negative stuff about. I mean, whatever. There's a lot of stuff I don't like.
Yeah.
I won't listen to it. I'm like, but I don't.
I just turn it off.
Just turn it off. I don't feel like I gotta.
It's like the ease of changing a track now. I mean, you're not flipping a tape. You're not scrolling through a CD. You're just boop, and it's gone.
Yeah.
So why waste the energy?
Usually I'm like, I may not voice something, but my face will be like, next. No thanks.
We're done.
We're done.
We're winding around. We don't have a time. We're at an hour now.
Yeah.
What do you want to close out with? What do you want to say?
Not all rap music is bad.
Right.
And as a Christian, I think you can listen to rap music and still have a beautiful relationship with Jesus. But there's also a thing called balance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Being mindful of what you're listening to because it does affect you, right? As no matter how in denial we are, rap music does affect me, and that's why I choose to put other things into my rotation. For those people...
Well, not all rap music has a negative message.
No. But it just kind of gets put in the category of that's just all bad. It's all trash. So, I guess if you have a very narrow mindset of music, because I know people are like, I listen to this and this only. It's super underground and like grunge and stuff. I don't know. Open up to different music, especially like even some of the ones that we talked about, whether it's like dancehall, soca, or like, I don't know, maybe you're into like Ukrainian music. I don't even know. Something like that. Vietnamese music, right? They have some cool stuff too. They have great stuff. I don't know. Open your horizons to your music. Doesn't just have to be rap, even if you don't listen to it, but something different, because it's really neat. It's really neat.
I completely agree with that. It really opens your eyes to what's out there. Like, I had never listened to Rihanna before, aside from the stuff that's on the radio. And I took a deeper dive one day after I saw her fashion show, and it's like, wow.
She's an icon.
There's some stuff here.
Yeah. Rihanna's great.
Yeah. So I completely agree with you. Give everything a try. If you don't like it, turn it off.
Skip it. It's easy.
All right. I don't really have anything to add. You guys said it well. So, music or movies or books or anything in life, how much of it you take in and the negative stuff and the positive stuff, and you let it affect you or you don't, like you nailed it. It's balance. It's knowing what to put in your brain and keeping a healthy balance of just like eating.
Yep.
Different food groups. Okay, so that's gonna do it for us. Thank you, Dyneshia. I love it. I love it when you come on and we talk. We had
love it too.
So
it's
much fun. Thank you, Jackie, for flying the plane.
Of course.
All right, we'll see you next time.
See ya.